Welcome, guys, to day 2 of the journey. I'm your host, the real Mr. Marcelle, and if you're tuning in now for the first time, this podcast is about finding you, finding yourself, and about understanding. We're going to try new things. We're going to come into challenges in our life, in our daily life, but you're not alone. Everyone is going through this, and I'm going through this too, and I'm sharing my journey with you to hopefully inspire you to start your journey. I'm going to be sharing tips about real estate, mortgages, about financing, about books that I'm reading, health tips, everything. Whatever I'm going through in my life, I'm going to share with you, and hopefully that inspires you to do the same. Just create content. So today, this morning, woke up at 7:40, which was on time. I scheduled to, but I closed my eyes and I was going back to sleep. And then I started thinking, Malcolm, if you take today off and don't go to the gym, what's going to push your child? What's going to push you to keep going forward? You're giving yourself another excuse. And I really think it was due to the weather because it was raining outside. And what we tend to do is we tend to let the weather outside affect our emotions and affect us. So I was going to make an excuse. But unfortunately for my old self, my weak mind, that I pushed through. I persevered and I went to the gym. It was raining, it was pouring, and it was raining heavy. And I went there and I had a killer workout. And at the end of the day, I was proud of myself for going through that journey and going through the steps. So you're not alone in this fight. A lot of times we feel like we're the only one who gets down or who gives up on the things that we say we're going to do. Like the late Kobe Bryant said, if you say you're going to do something, do it. So my goal with this podcast is to show up for the next 363 days, because I already did 2 podcast episodes, but show up every day, whether it's for 1 minute or it's for 10 minutes, but just to show up and be consistent, be that consistent voice in your life, pushing you guys to do better in all areas of your life, wealth, health, and relationships. That's the goal. I'm going to be pushing you forward. And we'll just see what becomes of this. I'm going to be changing the name soon because the journey is like overplayed. It has a lot of podcasts that have the same thing, but we'll come up with a name together. This is our podcast, and I hope this motivated you. And before I end it, I have another good story. So I did another interview today that you guys will see later on my Instagram, the real Mr. Marcelle, and I did it with a guy named Ed Stork. He's one of the top realtors in Jersey, New York. And in the podcast episode, he talks about being authentic and being the real you. And I couldn't agree more. Way too often we put on this facade and we pretend to be someone we're not. This is why I really feel like documenting the process is going to be so implemental in the future and going forward to show you guys. Malcolm showed up 365 days for us. He showed us when he was sad. He showed us when he was happy. He's going through everyday struggles because we think we're alone and you're not. Whatever you're going through, I guarantee there's someone else going through it and there's someone else who conquered it. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to let this thing stop you or if you're going to keep persevering to conquer this issue that you're going through. So one of my issues, which I mentioned earlier, was waking up to go to the gym today. My goal is to be way more consistent going to the gym. So I normally go to the gym about 3 to 4 times, but I want to go 7 days out the week. Now, 7 days, I'm not always going to be lifting weights. I'll be doing cardio. I'll be just stretching. But the goal is to do something that I say I'm going to do and to prove to myself that I'm able to do it. So whatever you're going through, and my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna have to cut this episode quick. But whatever you're going through, someone else is going through it, and someone else conquered it. So do not be afraid to reach out or to even accept the fact that you're not where you want to be right now. Accept that, hey, I want to change. I want to become better, and that is the first step. So thank you guys for this episode. It was going to be longer, but my computer battery is about to die on me, and I don't want it to not save the video because then I would have to do another episode all over again. And everything's unscripted, so if I mess up, I'm going to lose my train of thought, and it's going to go haywire. So if you appreciate it, put this in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking on YouTube or if you're listening to this on a podcast. I just want to tell you I really appreciate all the support. And as you follow this journey or this transition with me, you will see how much better it gets. Hopefully. At least that's what the challenge says. But we'll figure it out together. Thank you guys. It's the real Mr. Marcel, aka your favorite loan officer, aka Hustle Family. We appreciate you. Over and out. Oh shit! I was supposed